So I'm Rafie, and I'm a lifelong meditator, breathwork, yoga, and sound healing teacher. Oh God, one of those guys again. But as mentioned, I'm also the CEO of leading legal AI company Genie AI, backed by Google with over $20 million in funding. Thank you. Now, when people hear this combination, they often think spirituality on the one hand and AI and business on the other hand. Aren't these contradictions? But today I'm going to tell you not just the link, but why I believe this link is the key to unlocking humanity's full potential. And we're not just going to talk about it, but having run over 100 meditation classes in recent years, we're going to experience it firsthand. So, you guys ready for that? Yeah? Hell yeah. All right. Amazing. So, with that in mind, I'm going to invite you to do a couple of things for me before we begin. First of all, I'm going to invite you just to rate how you're feeling from 1 to 10. Okay? Doesn't have to be perfect. I know it's reductionist, but just pick a number. 1 to 10, how are you feeling? Okay, make sure you remember this number. And secondly, in a moment, I'd like you to put your hand up if you've ever experienced turning over a problem in your head over and over and over again without coming to a meaningful conclusion. Okay, so hands up if that's, yeah, we've all been there, right? Pretty much everyone, quite interesting. Now, I believe the reason why we think through our problems over and over again is because our education system has overvalued intellectual intelligence as a means to solve our problem. And this combined with the exponential increase in information in the internet age means we become a society of overthinkers. And this is resulting in all kinds of new mental illnesses. But what if there was another way? So we're going to try that together. And following on from the wonderful talks earlier, we're going to actually bring forth a problem or challenge you're facing right now in life. Are you guys open to doing that? Yeah. So just bring something to mind, something that's perhaps draining your energy in life or work, and hold that problem in mind. And note that right now, as we're sitting here, our minds are active, but our bodies are somewhat checked out. So, in a moment, we're going to get back into our bodies, what I call embodied intelligence. And we're going to use very simple techniques that I refined during my Kundalini yoga training by the Himalayas in India and during my Qigong training by the Wudang Mountains in China. So, if you're open to that, I'm going to invite you all to actually stand up. You up for that? Amazing. Thank you. Thank you for playing along. I appreciate it. So don't worry, we're not going to do jumping jacks. But I invite you just to first take a deep breath in with me through the nose and out through the mouth. So in together and out through the mouth. Amazing. And I know there's not much space, but it's going to be okay. I invite you to take a breath in through the nose and lift your hands up to the sky. And breathing out through the mouth, we're going to take a simple forward fold. So just reaching down and using your hands, you're going to tap the insides of your shins, okay? And tapping the insides of the knees and the insides of the thighs. And now going to the sides of your legs, the outside of your knees, the outside of your shins. And now tapping the backs of your shins, your calf muscle, all the way up your thighs, up your lower back, and up your upper back. You're doing great. You're doing brilliant. Tapping your head gently with 2 fingers, even tapping your face, really feeling your whole body, chest, collarbone, ribs, stomach, and all the way back down our legs. All right. And exhaling here And as we inhale, we'll come up very slowly, taking a micro bend in the knees. And we're going to place our hands on our hips, exhaling. You're doing great. Inhaling through the nose. And we're going to exhale with a hissing sound and take a halfway bend like this. Inhaling through the nose, coming up. Exhaling with a hiss, going to our right. Yeah, holding our breaths here. Inhaling through the nose, coming up. Exhaling with a hiss, bending back only as far as you can. Inhaling through the nose, coming up. And exhaling with a hiss, bending left. Inhaling through the nose, coming up. And exhaling with a hiss. And relax. So I'd like you to just rate how you're feeling once again from 1 to 10. And if your number went up at all, even just by 1, I'd like you to put your hand up. Yeah, not bad. Thank you so much for doing that with me. I invite you to take a seat once again. Let's bring our problem in our mind once again and just observe if there's any shift in the mind when observing this challenge. So we've observed that we feel a bit better, and if intelligence doesn't help us feel better, is it really intelligence at all? But we've also got back into our bodies, and I call this whole body intelligence, using our whole bodies, not just the brain part. But we're going to move on now, and we're going to talk about emotion. So we've all heard the power of sound on emotion, right? Now, I've seen firsthand during my mantra yoga training and after running countless sound healing and song circle events, how correctly used sound can result in sometimes quite powerful eruptions of laughter, crying, healing, and feeling. But let me give you a business example. In 2024, my company was about to run out of money. We had 3 months left of runway with 25 people on the payroll. So we had to raise investment, a process that would normally take 6 months and countless emails and meetings. But rather than doing that, I was doing my 200-hour mantra yoga training. And this may seem contradictory and even crazy, but I knew if I could take away the layers of myself through the medium of sound and emotion to reach my highest intelligence, I could find and close the perfect investor. And as it happened, within 3 weeks, we closed a £10 million investment round from Google Ventures in a scenario where we actually had no revenue. So that's a true story. And if you guys are open to it, I can share with you a taste of how we can do that together. And what we're going to do now is experience the power of sound on our intelligence. So in a moment, I'm going to invite you all to hum with me, okay? Easy enough? So don't worry what your sound's like. Don't worry about sounding perfect, but together we're going to make a beautiful big humming sound. But the key is to feel your issue or challenge at hand and bring the emotion of that into your sound. Okay? So let's see if we can do it. And I've got this wonderful Shruti box to help us out. All right, so let's take a breath in together through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Breath in through the nose And let's go for hum. I think you can go a bit louder. Let's go for it. Amazing. And now we're going to go for an R sound. Everyone can make an R sound, right? So I'm going to sound a very simple melody and I'll bring you in on the second round. Okay? So. Okay, let's try that together. So deep breath in and keep going. Feeling all the emotion of your challenge together. One more, really go for it this time. Yeah, just observe how you feel. So this is called emotional intelligence. And empathy is really important in emotional intelligence, but it's more than that. It's about using emotion to achieve your aims. We don't need to be more we don't need to be more mindful. We need to be more mindless and more emotionful. Many people think emotions are a bad thing, but they can give power to ideas. They can inspire teams and businesses, and they can create communities and causes. So we've talked about embodied intelligence, we've talked about emotional intelligence. We're now going to talk about inspirational, or what I like to call spiritual intelligence. And this is in the non religious sense. In fact, many of the best examples of spiritual intelligence come from orthodox science. Whether it's Archimedes sitting in the bathtub having that eureka moment, or whether it's Thomas Edison holding a ball in his hand until it dropped, which signified to him that he was about to fall asleep, where he got his best ideas. Indeed, many of our best ideas come from moments of deep relaxation, not from complex thinking. And that's why I run regularly breathwork sessions in my company, so our top executives can come up with the best ideas in the market. As it happens, I have trained for over 500 hours in conscious connected breathwork. So our last exercise together is to see if we can download some spiritual intelligence through the medium of breathwork. So one more time, I invite you to hold your challenge in your mind, but crucially, don't try to think of the solution. Allow the mind to receive. Okay? So our last exercise, you've done great so far. We're going to breathe in through our mouth and we're going to exhale fully through our mouth. Okay? But just remove the pause in between. So it goes like this. Okay, brilliant. We don't have too much time to fully try this out to its maximum. But if we did that for longer, you could see what thoughts would be downloaded into the mind. So that's conscious connected breath work. And we're drawing this talk soon to a close. So I want to highlight that over the last 10 minutes, we have discussed and experienced what I believe to be a new paradigm in human intelligence, one where spirituality is not separate to business or problem solving, but actually enables peak performance. And this, I believe, is the blueprint for humanity to become more human and more holistic. And this is a direction for us to thrive alongside AI. In many ways, that's what my company, Genie AI, does. We have over 10 million data points on past contract negotiations, more information than a human could or should ever hold. And this enables us to predict the perfect legal contract for every business so they can focus on what they love to do. And yes, AI will always be smarter than us intellectually, but we were never meant to be human calculators. What you just used today, your embodied, emotional, and spiritual, together your holistic intelligence, are forms of intelligence that AI will never have. And this, I believe, is the key to unlocking our full potential as a species. Not competing with machines at thinking, but becoming more fully human. Thank you. Thank you.